Welcome to CryptoCafe.io's first Sip and Chat. I'm very excited today because we have the lovely Paris joining us. She is initiating our first Sip and Chat podcast. I'm Lauren, founder of Crypto Cafe, and let's just get into it. So, Paris, tell us about yourself.
Well, my name is Paris. I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I've lived in LA for 10 years. This year was actually 10 years for me. And I
survived a decade.
I did. I survived a decade. I finally love it now.
That's hard.
It took a decade for me to actually
I'm from LA,
Los Angeles.
and I couldn't wait to get out.
Yeah. I was like that for the longest time, and now I'm like, no, this is home. Like, this is where I want to. Oops, sorry.
It's okay.
Sound guys. But I am an actress. That's why I moved out to LA. And the first quarter of my career, it was mostly Disney, and then I moved into Netflix, and I had a show called Alexa and Katie. That's the one I'm like the most proud of, and yeah, that's like my favorite project I've ever done. And now I'm at a point in my career where I really want to be behind the camera, and I want to write, and I want to produce. And
I love that.
The ultimate goal is to have, my own production company and do the Adam Sandler thing where he just works with all of his friends all the time. Like,
it gives you control of the content you're putting out.
Yeah, and I also I realized early on that I wasn't gonna make it where I want to be if I just kept auditioning and waiting for someone to pick me.
Cattle calls.
Yeah, because that's basically what acting is for a lot of it. Is like you're just waiting for someone to say yes.
I found I've also dabbled in acting, and I've been in a few films, and I used to be on a thing from way back in the day called soap operas.
Yes.
You remember those?
Days of Our Lives.
And it was a lot of like it was like running an errand to go on an audition, and you do like 5 a day, and you probably would never expect to get a call back, and it was a cattle call, and it was like every day you had to go on your auditions, and it's like fishing. Am I going to get a bite? Am I going to get a call back? I'm on my third call back. Nothing.
Yeah, my friend asked me what my percentage of booking was, and I was like, I don't really know, but it's pretty low. And he was like, okay, so like you had 20 auditions, out of the 20, how many would you book? And I was like, maybe one. Yeah. And he was like, all right, so how about like 40 auditions? I was like, still maybe one.
1.5?
Yeah. It's like, so like we're looking at like a 3% chance of booking out of my decade.
Yeah, acting is a lot of rejection.
A lot.
And it's hard. That can be really hard. So kudos to you for lasting a whole decade in that and grinding it out.
I was a gymnast for 10 years, so I think that form of rejection of falling off a beam after training for X amount of time and like competing, like that really helped me receive all the no's and not be as nervous, I guess.
Yeah, and the strength that goes into that kind of training too.
Yeah,
on your body.
You fall, you get back up, and you do it again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Totally understand. Did you go to college? Did you go to an acting school?
I did not go to college. My mother really wanted me to. And there was actually, after Disney, there was, I think, like 8 months where I didn't work. And she was like, okay, if you don't book anything this pilot season, like, you have to apply to colleges. I just didn't want to go to college. I just kind of felt like it wasn't for me. And I knew that I wanted to act and, be in the entertainment industry. And I was like, well, I felt like it was kind of a waste of money or time to go to a school to learn that when I would rather just go to like a different writing class or like acting class if I wanted to be educated. And so she was like, yeah, you have to apply to colleges. And I was like, okay, but when I do book something, I'm not going to college, period. And I don't want to ever hear about it ever again. And she was like, okay, fine. And then like a month later, I booked Alexa and Katie. And I was like, I guess I'm not going.
I don't have to go to college.
Sorry. And she was like, yeah, we made a deal. It's fine.
Yeah. I respect that. I'm a firm believer that I think college is great if you have to get a license or a degree in something. Like a doctor has to go to college because they have to have.
My sister's going to be a nurse, so she's in
college.
There are
certain
right
things that, yes, college is absolutely unnecessary for, but I don't. I don't really emphasize the need for college. More about effort and your work ethic and the grind and your creativity and making things happen out of nothing.
Totally.
And because a lot of people go to college and they come out and they don't even use their degree. They end up doing something completely different, and now you're in debt, and you've figured out that that's a waste of time and not what you want to be doing.
Yep.
Speaking to you wanting to be a producer and a writer, I did, however, I went to UCLA, Dodd Hall. UCLA has a great online program for film and television, like learning all the ins and out of like specific things. And I found that very helpful when I was getting into production and script writing and producing films. So that might be a really good resource for you. And you're in LA. And it's
perfect. And I wanted to go
at
to
your
UCLA.
own pace, and it's online, so you're going to get accepted no matter what without credit. So it's a
they have a writing class too, I think, that you can take online. So during quarantine, I was like looking into taking it, but I never actually did it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have some good online stuff for sure.
Yeah, it's really, I enjoyed my time there. So how familiar are you with investing? How do you invest? Do you invest? Are you interested in it?
I have invested in homes before. So when I was like 18 and 19, I bought 2. Because also, when you're a child actor, you get your Coogan account, so they take a certain percentage out of every check and put it in an account. You open it up when
you're 18. Yeah.
So when I was finally able to open it up, I bought my first home.
Congratulations.
And then, thank you. I sold it, which is great too, because it was, quarantine and there was a lot of uncertainty. So I was like, all right, maybe let's sell this one and we'll figure it out. But and then when I was filming Alexa and Kate, I bought another one. So that's like that's the investing that I've done. But that's
great. Real estate is a great investment and a great way to set up assets that work for you, that you can borrow against and buy more assets, and then again and again and again, and create a passive income that way. That's a really good way to start in your investment career.
Baby steps.
Did someone teach you about that, or did you just teach yourself?
My parents, I guess, did, because growing up they hated renting properties, so they always tried to, like, they built a home 1 year, they would flip homes, so I learned that from them, but yeah, that's because they hated renting, because it was like you're just always throwing away money that like you're never gonna get back by like renting an apartment or something.
And those are great teachers.
Yeah.
A lot of the things that I find that I do is based on like what I watch others do. Are they being successful at these things? Watching people fail is also a great teaching mechanism, because you can see, well, that's not really working for those people.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I'm not going to go do that. So like monkey see, monkey do. I also operate that way.
Yeah.
Do you know about cryptocurrency?
I know that it's a really big thing, but no, I don't.
When did you first hear about it?
I guess when everyone started talking about it, but I never really I still honestly don't understand what it is, and it just seemed like such a giant world to tackle, so I just kind of.
It's scary.
I was like, I don't know about that one. I'm gonna wait on that. So I really don't know that much about it, but
Could you name a cryptocurrency?
Bitcoin.
Oh, perfect. That's the OG, the number one, the granddaddy that started them all. Yeah. So you're already off to a good start.
Wonderful.
I have an interesting question, because it's one of our first lessons. Is Bitcoin an actual coin?
No.
Very good. See, you know
look
a
at
lot.
That. She is smart. Didn't go to college. Look at me, Mom. Passing
a lot of
colors.
and there's a lot of misconception about that, because is it like something I can hold? Is it tangible? Is it can I stick it in my purse? No, it's digital. Number one, it's digital.
Yeah.
So you're off to a good start.
Awesome. Great.
Let's see. So you get that. Are you interested in cryptocurrency?
I am. I just would love an easier way to learn about it. But I guess that's why you guys are here.
Yes, that's our reason for being. Did someone inspire you to learn about it, or is something that you just it striked your interest or your curiosity, or you hear people talking about it, so you're like, I want to know what everyone's talking about?
Yeah, a lot of my friends would talk about it, and I would feel very awkward because I just wouldn't be able to understand what they were talking about. So that one, because I would like to be a part of the conversation, and it's obviously a thing that's growing and it's not going to go away, and so also that part too is like why I wanted to learn more about it.
That's I really appreciate you saying that, because that's a common theme. Even I speak to Fortune 500 CEOs and founders and business owners and people in the financial industry that are like the top of the top, and they oftentimes don't know anything about cryptocurrency, but they come from the financial world, but their egos don't allow them to say that they don't have any idea what it is or how to use it, even though they're in finance.
Right.
And because it's so fast paced and there is so much information to be learned, that's, I think, one of the most important things to accept is that I don't know. I want to know. I'm kind of afraid of it, and I don't want to say that I don't know about this. Right. So that's awesome that you said that, because I find that that's always like the number one thing when people are like against cryptocurrency, is because they don't want to admit that they have no idea what the fuck we're talking about.
Right.
Especially people who are in positions of power and in the financial industry. It's a common theme, so you're not alone in that.
Yay, she's not alone.
And I myself was curious and didn't want to get left behind. And I come from I'm a gamer. I played World of Warcraft and all kinds of games. I started with Magic the Gathering. You probably weren't even born.
You're like the coolest person ever.
No.
I was in a movie where I was a gamer.
You were?
Yeah.
Which one?
It's called 1UP. But we played the game that we played was like a League of Legends.
Oh,
like
cool.
team style.
Yeah, that's awesome. How I got into cryptocurrency was gaming. All the gamers like on different chats or Steam or Reddit would be talking about cryptocurrency. And I played a game called World of Warcraft where you could build up a character and they become very valuable and you could sell them, but there was no place at the time and no way of buying in a game with like a digital currency. So we started hearing about Bitcoin, and we could sell our characters using Bitcoin because it was digital currency for a digital item, and it made it peer-to-peer, which means there's no middleman. It's like you and me deciding, this is what I have, this is how much you want to pay for it, and the transaction's between us, and it's instant. And so that's pretty much how I started getting into or hearing about Bitcoin. What are, if any, do you have any preconceived notions about cryptocurrency or the industry in general?
I guess before, and also a part of the reason why I was a bit afraid of it was it kind of seemed like it was a gamble. Like I didn't know, I just felt like, I felt like I needed to get lucky in order to earn money. But that's like maybe the one thought I had about it. That was like,
it's scary.
I don't want to touch it,
It's scary. It's scary because you don't understand it and you don't know how it works, and it's very complicated.
Yeah.
I understand that. What are you still skeptical about?
I'm not like super skeptical about it. I'm more so it's the education part of it. So,
like, where do you start?
Yeah, like how do I get into it? How do I know it's not a scam? Because I see that it obviously works, but yeah, I just don't know where to start.
Mm-hmm. And if you were to, let's say, where would you like to start if you were going to learn about it? Like, how would you?
I guess a very detailed description on what exactly it is.
And would you just Google that?
Because I mean, I don't know how else would you learn about it?
Yeah, exactly.
You would just.
That's a big question. Is like, well, where do we start? How do I even get into this giant world industry? Yeah. So that's a good insight. Do you have questions for us about the cryptocurrency industry? Ask me anything.
I don't know what to ask.
That's okay. That's a good point too. Like, I don't even know what to ask because I don't know anything about it. Like, what is it? Where do I start?
Yeah,
What do I do?
You're right. I don't even know what question to ask about it because it's such a large world and it seems very complex. But what you guys are doing is great because there's so much going on in the world already, and there's like so many new things that are coming to light, and I feel like it's all so stimulating, and like everyone's just like on social media and doesn't like really know where to start. But like you guys are doing a really cool thing because you're literally putting it in one place for people to like actually learn and be educated and feel comfortable like doing it too. So
thank you.
And it just makes it so much easier. You know, it's like taking a course at like UCLA. It's like it's already there. They give you the itinerary or like, you know, whatever quiz you're gonna do. So like that's really cool. Like you guys are making it much easier for sure.
Thank you. Yeah, I can't wait to give you access to our platform, which is yet to be launched. We are launching in October, but I'm excited to get your feedback, especially being a woman of industry and taking control of your finances and already an investor and a very young, beautiful woman. I love to get insight and feedback from women like you. It's my key excuse me, you are my key demographic. You know, I want to help support and build up women to take control of their finances in a way that's never been done before, and not get left behind, because it's a very it's still a man's world in finances and in Wall Street. And when you think about like stocks, you think of like, I do anyways, I think it's like a man's world, like the whole financial industry and banking. It just seems very male dominated. And so I think that we're perfectly positioned in our time, but also in where the tech is at, that women can really take advantage of this industry and make it work for them and be some of the loudest voices and propellers of this industry.
Also, someone like me in my situation, because I started making money when I was a kid, and I was making a good amount of money, and like I didn't really know what to do with it. You know, like I was just living my dream and acting on a show. You know, that was all I was thinking about. I wasn't thinking about money. And then like so now still, even though I've been doing it for a minute and I've been an adult for a couple years now, but I'm like still trying to learn how to invest my money, because I didn't really have to worry about that when I was a kid.
And it's not taught.
Yeah.
It's like, I wish someone had taught me how to balance a checkbook. What is credit card debt? Like, great, I'm getting this credit and I get to spend all this money. Well, there are consequences to that.
Yep.
Like, no one teaches you, how to manage your finances, which I think is so important. Like, they should be teaching us about finances in school and how to manage them, how to invest them, how to appropriate them and build our wealth. But I don't see that anywhere in unless you go to a business school after regular school. But like, even when you were given allowance money or chore money, you just got it and you're like, I can't wait to just blow all this on candy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Libby Lou Boutique.
Yeah, when I think about when I was a kid, I was like, I wish I had someone with the foresight to be like, would you like to invest in Apple? Would you like to invest?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, back in the 90s, I wish someone was like, you should be putting all your extra money into something like that.
Exactly.
And that's where I think we're at with crypto is, if you could take your coffee money for the day or a manicure pedicure money and just allocate some side money and invest small increments into a cryptocurrency that will make you money and compound in interest and build your wealth, I think is a great way to start.
Totally.
I also am a firm believer in never investing more than you're willing to lose.
Right.
Because you never want to put yourself in a position where you've lost all the money that you've worked really hard to get.
Right.
So that's why I like the concept of, okay, I'm just going to skip out on this coffee, or I'm going to skip this eyelash extension or something.
Skip my Gel X manicure for this month.
And I'll just eat it, but I'm going to see what this can do for me over here.
Yeah.
And then, slowly but surely starting that as your crypto portfolio, like small amounts.
That's a nice base, description, I think.
And if it gets lost, which I would never recommend investing in anything that I think you would lose, but saying I lost a cup of coffee. Yeah. I lost a manicure pedicure.
Yeah.
Try something else.
But
that. Here at Crypto Cafe, we aim to show you the best, we call them blue chips, as in blue chip stocks, like blue chip crypto, that is what we feel is the most investable, but also the strongest, and the ones that have the best tech, the best big companies and institutional money investing in them, because then that gives confidence in us to continue to watch these projects, watch them grow, see what they're doing, and how are they implementing cryptocurrency technology into our everyday lives. I think it's really important to see, Bitcoin, great. Well, how does that help me in my life? How do I use it? How do I make it work for me? What the hell is it?
Yeah. Well.
How do I keep it? Where do I start? So that's what we're here to do, and that's our goal.
That's awesome.
Is to start from the very beginning. It's not a coin. It's just called a coin, or sometimes a token.
Yeah.
So you're already ahead of the game.
There we go. I've already passed a little test.
Yeah. What scares you the most about cryptocurrency?
Making the wrong move. Yeah.
Losing money.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much.
And I think that you're very wise in that, because you are a child actor, and we hear all the horror stories all the time, child actors making a lot of money and being very successful, and never learning to hold on to it, or never learning to make it grow for them. And so I think that that's a very wise thought.
Thank you.
And
she has wise thoughts sometimes.
If you were to invest in a cryptocurrency, off the top of your head, which one would be the one that you would be interested in learning about?
I honestly don't know.
That's a great answer.
Honest answer, I have no clue.
That's a great answer, because most people don't. And I think your ability to recognize that you don't know is gonna help you, because you're gonna do your research, you're gonna educate yourself, and then you'll be able to make more Paris-wise decisions.
More Paris-wise decisions. I love that. Need that on a t-shirt.
Well, I want to thank you so much for being our first guest, and I really
didn't realize that was the first one. This is so exciting. I love it.
You will forever be in our history books as the very first person.
But I honored.
Do hear that you brought a second human with you.
I did bring a second human. He flew with me from Los Angeles, but we were on a show together. We were on Alexa and Katie together.
So we have a neat trick where we can snap people into our podcast.
Yes.
So on the count of 3, let's just
teleport
snappy chat Gunner into our podcast.
Perfect.
1, 2, 3. Hi.
Hey. You made it.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining.
Glad to be here. What's up, everybody?
Would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Gunnar Burkhart. I am an actor, director.
Are?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, believe it or not.
I had no idea.
I was in this show called Alexa and Katie.
Whoa.
One time. Yeah, you should check it out.
How many episodes?
I think
Is the whole season out? Because I can't watch anything.
Everything's
not out.
Yeah, we finished filming it in 2019.
Was it?
2019, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Right before 20. Yeah, because it was before my 21st birthday. And that was before the world ended, so.
The prom birthday.
The prom birthday.
I always, I have very small children, and I was having children during COVID, but I was like, if I wasn't having kids, COVID would be the best time of my life.
Yeah.
You were having kids during COVID?
Right before October 2019 and right after April 2021.
Wow.
Oh.
See, we got to just settle in the apocalypse.
But I'd already
with them.
had one too, so I
okay.
had 30. It was a lot.
You're just trapped.
Pro tip: wait as long as you can and live your best life, and then have
I think like
what
75.
that's what we're doing.
It's a good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's looking to be that.
75.
They're a lot of work and they're very expensive.
Yeah.
And wow.
I have 3 little sisters, so.
Oh, a lot of babysitting.
Yeah, and I have like a million godkids, so. I feel like
can I ask what your nationality is? Because you're so beautiful, and I'm trying to guess, and I know I'm going to get it wrong.
I'm half Filipino, and then the other half is like a lot of Eastern European, but then also French and Irish and.
A mutt. Heinz
I don't know what that
57.
side of the family did,
Yeah.
but they moved everywhere. So, but yeah, just
Yeah.
European and Filipino.
Those are the most beautiful people. The mixture. And you?
I'm pretty white.
You are
He's
pretty,
Ohio.
and you're white.
What am I? I think I'm like German, French, a little Italian. I don't really
You haven't
know the
23 and me'd
answer.
yourself?
I did, and I got really scared that they were going to clone me, so I like deleted all my
Oh,
information.
that's good,
and,
yeah.
yeah.
What? So you
Yeah,
didn't
I
even
just
get to
went on,
see
like,
your
some-
results?
I did. I saw them, and then I went like deep down, like conspiracy.
Oh.
There could be
land, and then I
advantages
geeked
to
out.
that, though. Like, if you don't really want to be on set and, like, sitting in and, like, waiting,
see,
put
I
your
could
double
be the clone
in.
right now.
Yeah.
like,
Oh.
Yeah, and I would just be saying this because you wouldn't expect it.
And I wouldn't know the
Yeah.
difference. Wow, that's a good point.
Yeah. Anyways.
I've just made clones of you, so then you can always be
Each
with
one,
me
yeah,
everywhere I go.
Every time you get tired of one, you're just like, all right.
Like, all right, I need number 2.
Yeah.
So do you have any experience, or have you traded in cryptocurrency?
I did. So I got into NFTs when
Oh,
when it
cool.
was like the.
You know NFTs, that's it?
Oh
That's a big
yeah,
one?
yeah. So I got into it when the whole it was like my big one was like Ethereum was the first one. So just because I was learning about NFTs and I could see how it could kind of shift everything. So I was like super interested and started diving in, and then I kind of I have like these addictions. So like I was addicted to acting for a long time. So that's.
Are you a Gemini?
No, Leo.
He's a Leo. His
Yeah.
birthday's next weekend.
Oh, happy early birthday.
Thank you. Turning 47, so
Stop.
yeah.
I'm like, there's no way.
He's turning 26.
Who's your doctor?
Who's your doctor?
LA is different out here. It's so different.
LA is like,
Yeah.
it's a grind just to keep up looking young. You know what I mean? Like, you have to go to the gym. You have to be drinking the best juices. Got to shop at Erewhon.
I think it's
and
then as
before,
actors you're seeing yourself on camera all the time too.
that
so you're
HD.
Like, yeah, you're like every
Yeah, it's a
little
little
tiny
too.
thing.
It's a little too clear these days. I'm like, can we
Yeah.
just get the film back and so I can.
You know who I feel
airbrush?
bad for? Are the porn stars. Because it's
Oh, that's a whole different light, too.
HD, like poor things. Like I empathize with that. Like, could you imagine?
Yeah.
No.
that's-
All your insecurities right there in high definition,
Yeah, right.
4K.
I wonder if they watch it like it's like a
I
highlight
couldn't.
reel, like
I
replay.
hate. I never watch my
Your own.
own stuff. Not my own porn. I never watch my own movies or film or anything, even these like FAFO or the podcast, because I can't stand the sound of my own voice.
Oh, it's tough.
And
It's so tough.
you watch yourself and you critique yourself like, I wish I wasn't so fidgety. I wish I didn't like,
Yeah.
I
You
didn't know how
notice,
to
like some
tick.
little like thing you
Why
do
am I
with your
doing that
eye,
with my
like,
freaking eyeball?
That's why I watch myself though.
You do?
It's because I broke so many habits. Like I used to sway like this. I'd be like, why the fuck am I swaying like on camera?
That's a good
And then I
point.
would, after every line, I would do this with my lips. So I was like, all right.
That's
gotta
like a weird
stop
thing is
that.
all actors have different ticks. Like mine was my eyebrows. I just get super eyebrowy.
Like, I think it's, what is it called? The Alexander method? where
Alexander technique?
Yeah,
Oh, I
the
love
technique,
that.
like,
Yeah.
because it's all about your body.
Yeah, it's
and,
about
like,
body
controlling
energy and
being focused and calm. I just turned 40, and I went to Costa Rica to do ayahuasca.
Ooh,
And
fun.
I do highly recommend it if you're into plant medicine, and it's a shift too, and it's not a drug, and we're not doing it to get fucked up. It's
have a
plant
journey.
medicine for expansion and for healing and all kinds of other modalities. But I got very in touch with my body, and during my journey, very aware of like how I act and how I move. is based on like my perception of how I want you to see me, or what impressing on you. And I found when I was in my journey, I was thinking about the Alexander technique, because I'm like, oh, this is, thinking about every possible movement of my body. Anyways, it's this whole wormhole we could go into about that.
For sure.
Ayahuasca
don't
is a
get us
trip.
talking about that
we'll
stuff,
talk about
because
that
we'll
for
be
like
here
80
until
hours.
2 o'clock in the morning.
Awesome. And if you ever want to try it, I have a great place that is perfect for people who want to remain private and go to an authentic experience. And it's safe. It's a safe place to enjoy a journey like that with authentic shamans. And a big part of ayahuasca journey is the shaman, but the location and the music. Like if the music, I don't know what it is about it, but the music while you're in your journey kind of is like a puppet master with strings. Like your body and your mind is being
just moving you.
And like if you're, let's say someone's in a bad time in their journey, they're going through something really difficult, the musicians see and feed off of that, and they change the music to guide you out of it. It's very. It's,
how many people in?
I did a private retreat with just my husband and 4 other people, and so it was just family and friends. So it was a very unique retreat because I was on a journey with my sister, my best friends, and my husband. So at one point, I'll tell you. One of the experiences that we had was one of my family members, she could hear everyone's thoughts. And at the end of the journey, when we all woke up, we were checking in on like what happened, and she was saying like, I know this sounds really weird, but I could hear what you were thinking. And so she would say what she thought that person was thinking, and then they would just start crying and going, oh my God, that's exactly what the conversation I had in my brain. And she went to the next person, same exact thing, and the next person, same exact thing. And she goes, you? And she pointed to me. She's like, you're the only person I couldn't hear. Which was weird too. Because, again, my journey was very physical. Mine, I never connected to the medicine. Some people do right away.
Didn't connect to it in which, like...
I didn't have a journey.
Really?
So,
interesting.
I know this, we're going way off topic, but this is, maybe we'll save it for another time, another place. But you take 1 cup to start every ceremony.
Yeah. And
then you go into a silent meditation for an hour. Silent. So you're in the rainforest and you're just becoming one with the world and the animals and the sounds and the wind and you and your thoughts, and setting an intention for your journey. And then they open the ceremony back up for a 2nd cup. Everyone the first journey didn't take a 2nd cup. I took a 2nd cup. I took a 3rd cup. I took a 4th cup. I took a 5th cup. And then they were like, we're going to cut you off because we're gonna save the real major journeys for the next 2 ceremonies. And so every night I was at like 5 cups, and I just never connected mentally to the medicine, which oftentimes can happen to people that are cerebral, who are just like won't lose control, or sometimes ayahuasca goes in and heals the body first, or heals you physically first. So mine was very physical. Like I could feel the medicine going through every single capillary, every single vein in my body, but I never saw anything. I couldn't hear people's thoughts. I didn't, see God, or like a lot of people had some really extraordinary journees, but I didn't have that. I had a different type of physical journey. So anyways.
I've never heard that before. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
I've never heard of somebody not breaking through, but not seeing anything or experiencing. I know we're like way off topic now, but
I think we could tie it into when I was in my journeys, the physical aspect of it. I did start to feel how we are all connected. Like I'm connected to that bug. Now I have empathy for that bug. Or I'm connected to the wind. I'm connected to the trees. I'm connected to the soil, because what I eats is important, and what I put into my body is important, because it's this whole thing. So cryptocurrency, to me, I tied into my journey in the sense of we're already in a digital age. When you send him a Venmo or I pay for something with a credit card, that's a digital ledger. It goes to a digital ledger. It goes to your bank. It's ones and zeros in a computer, and cryptocurrency is that, and you're already using that, but it's a different type of technology, a more secure technology, a peer-to-peer technology. Have you heard the term decentralized?
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard the term? Okay. So what decentralized means is that there's no one body governing the tokens or the technology, meaning when you bank or you use Venmo controls that and that transaction. They control your wallet. They control the funds essentially because they're the custodians of that app. They're the custodians of your funds in that bank account or Bank of America. They control it and govern it.
Right.
For cryptocurrency, there's no governing body. It's all peer-to-peer, and it's all self-run. At no one time could anybody. There's not a person that owns Bitcoin. They can't go and say, "Oh, I'm going to take your Bitcoin out of your wallet." It's impossible unless you gave someone the keys to your wallet.
Right.
We have a term in cryptocurrency called "your keys, your wallet." Unless someone were to get the keys to your wallet, there's no way they could ever take your money, which I find very valuable. Anyways, totally off topic with the ayahuasca, but still cool. And we can talk about it after.
It just makes me wonder if it'll always stay decentralized.
It will always be decentralized if it's run on Bitcoin or Ethereum. Will they find ways to centralize, decentralize
At
crypto?
least your transactions or be able to track wallets.
They already have. So if you think about an exchange, that is a centralized platform, meaning they have their own wallet. You're sending your coins to them. Therefore, they're the custodians of that wallet. Whereas when you deal with NFTs, you're probably using MetaMask or Trust Wallet. No one can ever go in and take your NFT from you. But if you're storing and you're holding your NFTs or your coins on an exchange, they run their wallets. If they wanted to, they could block the transactions. They could seize your coins. That's centralized, meaning someone could govern.
Yeah, so like OpenSea, for example, would be a different type of centralized.
So OpenSea's...
I don't know if that's even like, they're like even, because when I was in it, that was like the main market.
No, and you're correct. But OpenSea is a middleman. So I would connect my wallet to OpenSea to upload or buy an NFT or to receive an NFT, but your NFT is still essentially in MetaMask.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And then there's like, oh, I want to buy your NFT from you. Well, you would send someone an offer, and then you guys would decide if
So it's just showing what's physically in your wallet through another.
That it's available.
Okay.
Yeah, but you still
Interesting.
you still control your wallet because it's just it's just connected to their platform. Yeah, so they've already done. So to answer your question, yeah, they've already done it because they create exchanges like Binance, Coinbase, eToro, Gemini, etc. And yeah, so yes, they have. And I think for mass adoption, for it to be easier to use and for everyone to start using it, I think that they do have to centralize some aspects of it to build trust amongst the community. Like if your bank was allowing you to use crypto, wouldn't you trust it more because you trust your bank?
Right.
You feel like they're putting a validation stamp on cryptocurrency. But I think right now financial institutions are scared because our government hasn't decided what's legal and what's illegal yet. They're fighting it right now. And again, too, that's because what we talked about earlier, the big wigs in the financial industry want to scoop up as much cryptocurrency as possible so that they can control it in the future. Which is why at one time Bitcoin was upwards of like $60,000, and now it went down all the way down to what is it today, like 29,000. But as the market recovers, they are able to continually scoop up Bitcoins lower and be able to have more control over it, because it is inevitable, in my opinion.
I think so, for sure.
Yeah.
I just think about it in like the digital world. I mean, I think everybody flips out about, digital currencies and all that, yet we're in the digital world most of the day. Most people are.
You're already in it.
Yeah, you're already in it.
You
But
just
yet
call it Venmo,
it's just owned by other people.
Apple Pay.
And they're throwing algorithms in your face to make you stay in it. But what if you did have access to being able to like own your piece of it versus just being on websites like ran by everybody else?
And what you're already into is not fraud proof. It's not hack proof, meaning there's credit card fraud, there's check fraud, there's all kinds of fraud, whereas Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies make it very, very too impossible, unless again your key's your wallet, or you accidentally, make a transaction and make a mistake. Yeah, you can lose your money, which I have done, and I've learned the hard way, which is why I'm here to teach people not to make the same mistakes I did. Going back to your NFTs, what was the first NFT project you invested in?
I think it was like this chameleon project. I don't think it really ended up. None of the projects I invested in really turned out to be. I was very much in like the flipping world, I would say, which now I look back and kind of regret. But I was Icy Tools. Icy Tools is like for anybody listening, it's like a website where you can track the NFTs, the graphs, and the data behind, and you can track trends. So I was just obsessed with like trends.
Was this during the last bull market?
Yeah, I would say.
I don't think it was a mistake to be flipping, because at that time you were getting the highest value.
I was.
Where I held on to everything.
Okay.
And like I have a doodle, which is at one time
poppin'.
It was worth like 50,000, and I bought it for, I don't even know, maybe like 1,500. And I should have sold at the height, but I didn't. So you live and learn.
It's gonna move.
And I'm like, this next bull run, it'll be up to 1 million. But had I invested in CryptoPunks or Stoner Cats or Bored Ape Yacht Club, these are all NFT projects.
I'm here.
What is a Bored Ape at now? I've been the reason I kind of got out of it is I was like making really good trades and starting to make okay money, at least like doing something with it. And then one morning I woke up and was like,
the crash.
Way too confident. I was just way too confident in like my trading abilities and looking at these charts. So I invested into 3 projects. 2 of them just didn't come back up to even flip. They just straight went down. And the other one was one of those like, I'm sure you've seen the projects where they just never get minted, and you just have
It's just a scam.
Yeah, this complete scam that like got a lot of people. And then after that, I was just like, I lost everything that I was like building up on, and I was just like, all right. And
like Paris was saying earlier, like it is a gamble.
Oh, it is for sure.
And it's a lot of do your own research, like you were saying.
Yeah, I feel like it had to have happened like that so you can understand the technologies and everything that was, and the people were just capitalizing off.
And
we're
still learning. And what you were talking about, Bored Apes, where are they at now? Well, they're one of the few projects that were able to transcend just being an NFT that people put up as an avatar and like, cool, look at, I have this NFT. They actually created ApeCoin, and they've created this whole staking program with dividends and interest earned, and a Bored Apes Yacht Club. They also came up with the mutants mutating the NFTs, so that was really cool. Yeah. And I think as the technology progresses, we're going to see a lot of these innovative ways to use NFTs and to use blockchain technology. And I think that the more that happens, the more people can see, how do I use this in my everyday life? What is this going to be worth to me? How can I capitalize on this? Which projects are good to invest in, etc. And unfortunately, the NFT world has a bad reputation right now.
I think it's because of all of the
scams.
The scam coins.
And even like finding out OpenSea owners, which is, again, the scam comes from humans, doesn't come from the blockchain. The tech is solid. The tech is amazing. The tech is redefining our financial industry. The scams come from human error, like FTX. FTX was a huge loss for the crypto industry, and lost a lot of trust in the crypto industry because of that platform. There's a lot of huge names behind it. I shook
my head like I knew, but
oh no, it's okay. FTX is a platform that got heavily invested into, and then ended up being basically a rug pull. The Sam Bankman-Friedman, SBF, Sam SBF. I'll let you research it, but he is basically a rug pull, and everyone lost their money. Like Tom Brady was involved. Like they had big what do you call it? Big celebrities behind it that didn't understand the technology and just were like, probably like, here, you want to rep this company? Yeah, I'll do it. And then didn't understand the technology. So again, that's why we think education is so important. Like you, researching your NFTs, watching the market trends, which ones are actually being minted, which ones, like going on Telegram and seeing like, is this even happening?
Discord,
are people talking shit? Is this a scam? Is this a rug pull? It's a lot of research and a lot of trial and error. And that's what we're hoping to mitigate those circumstances and losses. So how do you feel now with not just the NFTs but cryptocurrency in general?
I feel like it's like slowly coming back around. I haven't been as like involved with it. After that, I was kind of like scarred and like ran away from it. Yeah, but I've always known of like it's where the future's going to me. Like it's like undeniable. But I mean, like, only if you listen to like Gary Vee at all. But he used to talk about it like NFTs is like 99% of them are going to crash. That's kind of what like happened. But it is finding the technologies and resources where it can actually be like people can actually use them in the digital world. And so I see like a bright side of it. I don't know what that is, but I just see that there's going to be something that's going to make sense.
When we have our own podcast space, it's just gonna be fucking 8 hours long.
Yeah.
Well, if you ever want me to return the favor, you can come on.
Yeah.
My husband's way more valuable than I am.
No.
If you ever want him to come on, what do you guys discuss? Well, actually, we can talk about it so we can rep your podcast.
We've done one episode.
We've done one episode so far.
We're all noobs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's the first one. That's crazy. Yes, we've done one episode. It's called "Be Real for Real."
Be
That's
Real
what we're
for
calling
Real.
it. And it's just we're just going to talk about real life, real stuff. Whoever comes
Be
on.
real for real.
For real. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's be real and then
FR.
FR.
Excuse me.
One cap.
It's so cool.
They're so cool. But yeah, because we always, I mean, we hang out pretty much every day and we talk about a lot of things, whether it's life or industry or, you know, life or problems, like whatever it is. And it just got to a point where we were like, oh, like I wish a camera was filming right now to like get everything. And then we were like, oh, maybe we should do a podcast. And then months went by of us talking about doing it, but then not actually taking the action. And then randomly I was doing a Reiki session with my teacher, and she was like, we were talking about career stuff, and she was like, I don't know why, but I just keep hearing podcast. And I was like, that's so funny. We've been talking about doing a podcast for months. And then so we finally filmed our first episode.
That is what like triggered it.
It opens your podcast chakra.
Yeah, because she was like, people like need to hear your voice, and she was like, I keep picturing a giant microphone in front of your face. And then she kept hearing podcast. So then after that I was like, all right, the angel spoke.
It's time to go.
It's time to do it. So we did our first episode a couple weeks ago, and then we're gonna film 2 more in a couple weeks.
I love that because it's so hard to find authentic content that's not brand sponsored. It's not being pushed. It's not coming from, you know, you're being sold, you're trying to sell this, you know, product, and so this is why you're talking about these things, or you're making a commission, so that's why you're repping it. I love the be real for real. And I love that I love your relationship, because male and female energy, and young, discussing what's important to you, and, you know, real current event topics, and just your lives in general. I think it's very important to share, because you both are very successful and doing, in my opinion, just meeting you, doing really well in your lives. And for young people, it can be difficult right now. The world is a crazy place, and it's hard to navigate, especially with social media. My first interaction with social media was MySpace, so I've never even been on a dating app, so I can't even imagine what that would be like. But I'm told if I were to do a dating app, it'd be Raya. Is that the thing?
Cool one.
I've actually never had a dating app.
It's so like Raya. It's so funny. It's like the funniest dating app, just because
is it like
it's like the
like, are you
coolest
verified?
Club. It's like somebody has to invite you to get in, and when you're in,
you gotta pay like.
I've been invited. I'm like, I'm not on the market. I'm
is.
married like 15 years. Is there like a first wives club or something?
Maybe.
But yeah, that's a whole world I wouldn't even know about. So I'd love to come on your show and hear about your what you guys are talking about and what you're into and what concerns you have and what is important to you guys. And I'm hearing, if correct me if I'm wrong, is you would like more information about investing in cryptocurrency, and you want to. I think you're making a wise choice too. You want to stay ahead of the game. You're already very well ahead of the game. You know what an NFT is, and you know what they actually do and how to buy them. It's very complicated. Like taking USD to getting into Ethereum is like a whole thing.
Oh yeah, and then just transferring coins, and that's
setting
a whole
up
other
a
thing.
digital wallet. What's that? Like it's a very, very complicated.
Yeah. A big thing for me was coin swapping. That's a whole other. I was like so confused. It's like, all right, you got to go to this website to swap from this coin to this, and then you got to do this to this, and that's
then
a
you're
whole
like,
other world.
what's the conversion rate? Because I'm converting 4 quadrillion tokens, and I'm getting one of this other one.
And then it's
how
equal
does
to like
that
$4
work?
US.
But I paid $400 to do it.
Yeah.
It's very complicated. So that we aim to simplify that and to educate people on how to do that. What is your favorite cryptocurrency at the moment, or what are you bullish on?
I haven't been in it, so I'm just gonna have to say Ethereum.
That's a good one.
Basic,
that's a blue chip.
Yeah.
Ethereum is solid. We love Ethereum here at Crypto Cafe. We love Vitalik. Vitalik is the co-founder of Ethereum because we're educating Paris.
Yeah. I forgot for a second. Get Vitalik.
Yeah. So what? If you have any questions for us for Crypto Cafe, what would you like to ask us? If since you're here. Is there anything like that's been gnawing on you, or like do you have a question about something in your trading experience that you didn't really understand? I know I'm putting you on the spot. Sorry.
I guess. What do you think it's going to take for everybody to come around to it again?
Simplification, number one. Number one would be education. Like in Paris's circumstances, like, well, simplifying what? Like, what is what?
Yeah.
So the first is education. What are we simplifying? What are we even talking about? So education, number one. Simplification. And then I would say trusting in what it is that you're investing in, and using the tools and the technology and the different modalities and platforms. And then I think lastly is mass adoption, meaning everyone needs to be using it. Everyone needs to be adopting it and being able to use it in their everyday lives.
Do you think that'll be like one coin or one event or one thing that like sparks everybody, where it's like a trendy thing where everybody's like,
I think it's Bitcoin and Ethereum and XRP to start, because all three do very different things. Bitcoin, as you know, is the granddaddy of them all. That started it all. Bitcoin's very important. I believe that Bitcoin will be what we always thought gold was, which is what our dollar was backed by. Like, this dollar is backed by some gold in Fort Knox. Yeah. It's not. It hasn't been for a long time. But I believe that digital currencies will be backed by Bitcoin as the gold standard.
Wow.
Why? Because there's only 21 million ever created. There will never be any more than 21 million ever in circulation. You can't create more Bitcoin. You can't, like the dollar, we can just print it arbitrarily. We can just make more of it, and it devalues it. That's where inflation comes from. But with Bitcoin, you can't. It's inflation proof. I can't make more of it and devalue the price of Bitcoin. So that's what I think will happen.
Standard.
And then Ethereum is great because it is a different blockchain technology that has a lot of user capability, meaning I can connect to this coin with Ethereum. I can use Ethereum to do this and that, and it speaks and works with a lot of other networks, and a lot of altcoins have been created underneath Ethereum. I think Ethereum is a really good modality to connecting a lot of these things, like XRP. XRP is an amazing tech that is going to be how banks speak to each other in transactions in cryptocurrency in the future. They have this network called RippleNet that is right now in a lawsuit with the SEC, and they've won. And we're actually just waiting to see if the judge is going to overturn her verdict, which I don't believe she will. And I think XRP is going to see massive, massive gains in this, and soon to come, but also in the next bull cycle.
Cool. I'm gonna have to dive in.
Yeah. And a bull cycle is stocks, you know how they always have a bull? Or have you ever seen like at Wall Street that golden bull?
Yeah.
So a bull cycle is like representative of like when the stocks are rising and it's a good time in the market and people are making money. And then a bear cycle or bear market is the opposite. It's like no one, hibernation. Everyone's losing everything. It's just downhill. So right now we're in a bear market. I believe in 2024 we're already seeing a steady, a slight increase in certain coins, but going into 2024, a very important thing is going to happen. It's called the Bitcoin halving. Do you guys know what that is?
I have not heard of that at all.
So the halving is Bitcoin. The last Bitcoin will be mined in 100 years. It will take 100 years for the last Bitcoin to be mined. And why that is because it's written into Bitcoin's algorithm of mining, the hash rate, that every 4 years, it's a cycle that the hash rate gets cut in half. So this next halving, meaning it gets cut in half, it's going to take longer and it's harder to mine one Bitcoin. And so every 4 years, it gets cut in half again and again and again and again. What does that do? It means that less volatility in the market because less people will be able to mine them. There's only a certain amount left. So it makes this coin a lot more stable. The price stays a lot more stable and it also will rise because there's less to mine. It takes longer to mine and most of them are already out there. And so the coin itself, I believe, will reach up to at least 500,000 per Bitcoin. And then it will have a retracement and find its stable point. And then again, the next halving, go up to new heights, again, reach a new low. Like right now we're at like 30,000. So it was like the last time I got into Bitcoin, it was like $3,000. And then it skyrocketed to 60. And then it went back down and now it's found a happy place at 30,000. And so we're going to see a huge gain in Bitcoin again in the next halving. And what does that do? It makes all the other coins fly because the sentiment, meaning the feeling about cryptocurrency and where the market's going is good, creating a bull market. Lots of gains to be made, lots of money to be made, and you guys are going to be ready for the next bull market because Crypto Cafe is going to help you set up digital wallets and get you going in your cryptocurrency investments.
I'm excited to learn.
Let's go. Well, thanks for having us.
You're welcome. Thank you. Is there any projects on the horizon that we could check out? I know I'm going to be listening to your podcast, Be Real for Real.
Be Real for Real.
Be Real for Real is that's the main one right now.
Yeah.
some super secret projects I hear you have ready to go, and I can't wait for you to share with us what that is so we can check it out.
Mm-hmm.
And in the meantime, enjoy your time here in Las Vegas.
Hey.
I know you guys are. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
for
much.
being my first guest and taking a chance and coming on here and talking about a very difficult and but also exciting technology, and I'm really excited to share our knowledge with you so I can help you guys. And thank you for helping me today.
Of course. Thanks for having us.
My first guest.
This is awesome. Hey.
Everyone, please like, subscribe, do all the things you know you're supposed to do, and check out their podcast, Be Real for Real, and we'll keep you posted on their other projects to come. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Let's fucking go. Here's to the next bull run.
Yeah, bull
I have
run.
to pee so